Hey one hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Age of the Primes Excellion, Cybertron Excellion. And this guy is actually more interesting than I ever thought he would be, for a number of reasons. We're going to jump into everything to do with this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you happen to be in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the Age of the Primes Excellion from Transformers Cybertron. I'm not a Unicron Trilogy guy. I think in the States, possibly in Canada too, this is an Amazon exclusive, though I do feel like I've seen some online retailers offer this guy and his wave mate, which of course would be Sideways. I saw this, I've never got the hot shot version of the mold because I already have a hot shot. I have the Selects version, the Cybertron Defense hot shot, and I'm good with that. But Excellion is a character I didn't have. And then I learned that Excellion is an homage to G1 Hot Rod, which made it a little more interesting. How good is this guy for a deluxe? How about we head over to the table and take a closer look at him. And yes indeed, here we have Cybertron's brooding loner who lives on Velocitron. Yeah, that's right. And I guess is under the leadership, I suppose, of Override, I guess. I mean, Unicron Trilogy is not really my thing, but this is Excellion, of course, the same body type as Hotshot. I didn't get Hotshot or look at that from the Legacy line because I already have the Select Cybertron Defense Hotshot, and like that's good enough for me. But I didn't have any version of Excellion. I think that this might be a Walmart exclusive in the US and Canada, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think so, but I can't swear to it. This red body type is meant to be an homage to G1 Hot Rod. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Basically, from what I can gather, the dude has kind of a bad attitude, and like sometimes that makes him more endearing to the Decepticons than the Autobots, even though he is an Autobot. Though his packaging makes the mistake of identifying him as a Decepticon here and over here. That's why I mentioned it, a close-up of his face over here with a kind of a grimace on it, I suppose. Kind of a smirking grimace, I guess. I don't know. Like, he looks like he'd be a smartass, you know? Over here we have our typical primes on the side, and on the back we have both of the outloads. Of course, he comes with a Cyber Planet key. That is a non-working Cyber Planet key. Also, apparently he's a descendant of Amalgamus. Who knew? Inside the packaging we have this handy-dandy set of instructions, but I'm not going to lie, I didn't really find that I needed the instructions. We also have, and this is our lad's little Cyber Planet key, and it slots into our boy's back just fine back here. He also has this translucent blaster, and that blaster could go on his arm or here in the back or up on his shoulders. Even I suppose if you wanted to, down here, there's a lot of 5mm ports on this guy. And here he is next to Hot Rod, who he is intended to be an homage to. I'm not gonna lie, we all know how I felt about that Studio Series 86 Voyager Hot Rod. It's not a Voyager, it's only an okay deluxe. I know it got a lot of adulation, but I don't, even looking at these two side by side, I have no idea how anyone in their right mind can think this is worth more than this. And I paid more for this. It's 77 grams of plastic. It doesn't have all the articulation that this guy does. And this guy is 104 grams of plastic and feels infinitely more robust than the Hot Rod. I'm not a fan of the Hot Rod, but this guy is a cheeky nod, if you will, to G1 Hot Rod. All of that being said, and I'm just going to center our guy up here a little bit. All that being said, my understanding is his only fiction that he actually appeared in came in Timelines. So we're going to kind of compare this guy to, say, his original figure release. I don't usually do that comparison. I like to compare it to the fiction, but it doesn't really work in this case. Starting from the toes, working our way up. The toes being the black or gray, that's right. The triangle detail on the lower leg is correct. Actually, it should all be one big triangle colored gold, but I think I like the breakup here a little bit more. The orange thighs, the entirety of the hips and pelvis, not just the pelvis in the center, but the entirety of the hips and pelvis should be that gray color. The gray on the body is correct. The gold is correct. The silver here on the sides, that should also be orange. The biceps should be orange. The tires are fine. The forearms should be really all gray, though we have a red fist here. And you might notice the doors on the side of this guy's arms. Luckily, in this case, they are on 5mm pegs. So if you really want, you can actually take the doors off of his forearms and put them to the side, use them as accessories, whatever, but we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. His blaster over here is really the blaster and the spring-loaded missile, all as one. There's a blast effect at the end of it. I think that's fine. I think that's okay. It's supposed to be blue. It is blue. The Cyberplanet key should be red instead of blue, but I'm okay with the Cyberplanet key being blue. Going on up the body, when it comes to the shoulders, the silver on the shoulders is correct. Though, and I don't think it's there. Oh no, it is. The Autobot logo is on the left shoulder. And for the roof, these little pieces that come out, they should be translucent blue, but they're orange. I'm okay with them being orange. This is a heck of a close homage to the original. Not 100% perfect, but pretty darn close. I'm going to give it a 9.75 for sure. What about the articulation for the guy? So, I like the articulation, but there's a couple of things that sort of annoy me, so to speak. Let's kind of start back here. The whole backpack seems to be pretty, like it's on this hinge, but it doesn't really tab in anywhere. And you might say, well, that's a nuisance. And it is to a degree, but because it doesn't tab in, it really allows the arm a little more free-ranging motion. Because of the big shoulder pad. So I'm okay with it. I do wish that this folded up better than what it does. I also wish that there was a panel behind the head, because sometimes the head likes to push itself back down. So the head goes left, right. It can definitely look up because of the transformation. Can't really look down. The shoulders, as I showed you, I mean, I don't want to say they can go all the way around. Maybe if we put these back in. By the way, the Cyberplanet key doesn't make those pop out on this guy. It doesn't do anything. You have to pull them out manually. No, okay, so you can get the arm all the way around if you're so inclined. For out to the side, I mean, I thought it was going to be really, really bad because of the big shoulder pads, but like, I think that's respectable. Like, MP10, all right, everybody loves MP10. MP10 cannot T-pose this well. So, this is better than MP10. The elbows, I guess bicep swivel. The elbows are easily at 90 degrees. We do have a wrist swivel, as I told you. You can take off the forearm piece if you're so inclined. Let me put that forearm piece back on though, because I'm not really that inclined to take it off. There we go. We do have a waist that can go all the way around. We have legs that can kick all the way forward. Nice high kicks. Legs that can kick all the way back. We have full splits to the side. We have thigh swivel. We have a knee to 90 degrees. We have very deep ankle tilt. And I guess because of transformation, we kind of have this toe tilt up. It doesn't really help the stability, but like, I guess it's there if you really want him to have a step behind, right? A little bit of a walking pose, I suppose. So with the 9.75 for the overall look, I'm going to say the articulation is pretty much all there that I could want. I remember with Hotshot, I was concerned about the arm articulation, and some people said that they felt like the elbow was a bit low. Maybe if you kind of see the bicep as the bicep and shoulder and this is just a pad, then I can kind of see it. But you know what? When I actually bend the arm at the elbow, like, I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's pretty natural. Opening and closing fingers might be about the only thing that I could really want on the guy that he doesn't have before a deluxe. A robust, solid, hefty deluxe. I mean, I ain't gonna complain, man. I'm gonna say that the articulation is easily a 9.5. He was getting a 9.75 for the look, a 9.5 here. So far, he's pretty great. Let's do the transformation. I'm going to take this, though, off of his arm, just to make life a little easier. I think the original may have had sliders for the legs. I don't recall for sure, but I kind of like the way the legs are handled here much better. Okay, so let's begin here. We're going to turn this around so that I don't forget it later. And it's easy for me to forget it. We're going to open out a shin. We're going to fold down an ankle, fold in a toe, fold an ankle back up. We're also going to collapse a leg all the way down, and then close that one over. And trust me, you're going to know the feel of it. Make sure you got the leg collapsed the whole way. Otherwise, you won't be able to do the transformation. We're going to open up that leg. We're going to turn out that ankle. We're going to fold in that toe and bring that back up. We're going to, again, collapse that knee all the way down. I find it helps to give a final push down here at the, I guess, where the knee joint is. We're going to close that in, and then we're going to put both of those together. Then we're going to use the hinge in here, and we're going to bring back the entirety of the roof section so that it all goes down there. Very nice, very smooth so far. The head folds back into the body, and both of the shoulders will come up and they'll tab together. Then we're going to bring an arm down on the side and an arm down on the side, and yes, you do need to kind of finesse it in here a little bit. And over on this side, finesse it in a little bit, which honestly is no big deal because the plastic here is so solid, big, and robust. This is why mass matters, right? And then we bring this down and we tab it in. Even the translucent is thick and robust. Like, I don't feel like for 1 second I have any fear whatsoever of breaking that plastic. We're going to put that in the top, and I suppose if you really, really wanted to, I guess there's probably a way you could, yeah, I mean, if you really want to bring this one out and bring this one out, you can, but boom, in the end, here we have Excellion in his car mode. And man, what a nice, smooth, easy, chunky transformation. The legs, very familiar if you're used to the kind of combiner wars or combiners in general method of kind of collapsing the legs. It's very similar. The shoulders are big and robust and tabbed together nice. The way the arms come down on the sides, it's buttery smooth. Like I said, a flap behind the head would have been nice. And maybe something to sort of solidify the backpack. But the transformation to vehicle mode and back from vehicle mode, very easy. I'm giving it a 10. Overall, this is a 9.75. This is a really fun, functional transformer, and for a guy who's not at all invested even slightly with the Unicron Trilogy in any way, shape, or form, I can tell you now, if you take the 86 Hot Rod and compare it to the homage of Hot Rod, I think the homage is infinitely better. I think that this is successful as a robot, even if the elbow might seem a little weird. And I think it's successful as a car. This feels chunky and robust. Like, I feel like I can take this, and if I drop it, nothing's gonna break. You know, if it flies through the air a bit, I think it'll be fine. I think that this, if you wanna be charging what you're charging now for deluxe class transformers, this is what they all should be. Make of that, my friends, what you will. But at an overall score of 9.75, it's hard to argue with just how well executed this mold really is. And here we are once again, and here he is, and a number of things to note here. First, the mass is crazy for a deluxe at 104 grams. Every single bit of this guy feels robust, solid, whether it's solid plastic, translucent plastic, it does not matter. Do I wish the forearms were a little bit longer or the elbows a little bit higher? Yes. Does it bother me a ton? No, it doesn't. And while I understand the argument for it seeming like the forearm is low, I find in hand I don't feel that way. I like that the doors can come off of the arms if you don't want them there as extra kibble. Plus, it lets you access the hand and the hand rotation much easier. The legs are a nice, logical collapse and transformation scheme in. If this is an homage to Hot Rod, then it takes everything that was wrong about the 86 Hot Rod, and there's plenty of it, and corrects it and makes it right. I'm not even a Unicron Trilogy guy, and I find this deluxe to be infinitely more satisfying than that Voyager. I get it, I know it's popular, I just can't get behind how that was marketed and sold as a Voyager. Should have been a deluxe. This guy, if anything, is closer to a Voyager. And we got it for a deluxe value. I think that this mold is the bee's knees. I'm not a Unicron Trilogy guy, so I'm not really invested to compare what this was like with the original release. But for an update, and something that I'm experiencing really for like the first time, other than the Little Legends adaptation, I had the Red Alert version of that. I know it's not like the deluxe, but this for an update is splendid and color me pleasantly surprised. Let me know what you think about Excellion, or for that matter the Hot Shot mold. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying it's a lot better than I think that I thought it was going to be. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel, and don't forget, man, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.